All right, we need some music. Here's the music. Bam.
The A Show.
Where smart is the new sexy.
And now, April Hunter.
Hey, welcome to the A Show. How many of you believe that your government has your best interest in mind? It would never do anything wrong to you, never experiment on you. We have a fascinating episode of long history of unethical experiments that most people don't know about. We also have a fun history of wrong. The biggest mistake in history ever made by people who should have known better. But first, we also have Allie's birthday.
Yes.
Allie's birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Allie. Happy birthday to you. You original A Show man, podcast listener. You are one of our main guys. We love you and many more. Woo!
Happy birthday, Allie. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. So thank you for spending your birthday evening with us. We appreciate it. We appreciate whenever you guys do that. And hi to everybody joining us tonight. Yes. Who do I see here? I see Ricardo, Michael. Who else is here? James Sosa, who is preparing for the NPC. Awesome.
Excellent.
Awesome. We got Alex. Did I see Winona? And we have, let's see. Who else is in here? Lon and your funny jokes. Lon lost a family member this recently, and we are deeply sorry. You are,
yes.
We're very, very sorry to hear that. Thank you for spending your evening with us. We have Speedway. Wade says his birthday's coming up soon. Just saying.
Oh yeah.
We got Colin. What's up, Colin? Nice. So we got some people in here tonight. We're gonna have some more filter in, and Lon lost his dad. So on the flip side, you're really lucky to have had him for as long as you did. So they always say we honor our beloved, the people we loved, not with grief, but with gratitude.
Our hearts are with you.
Yes. Yes. So speaking of gratitude and honoring the people in our lives, how many of you started your 12 months of Christmas, keeping your vibe alive there? Mm-hmm. So if you remember, and hi, Steve, joining us. If you remember, we started a thing last week where we're going to keep that warm, fuzzy Christmas vibe thing going all 12 months. So we're going to try, right? Do or do not. There is no try. And our first month's assignment is to write 3 letters or texts or whatever your preferred communication is, calls of gratitude a week. How many of you were able to do that?
I started.
I did it.
I want to hear what the people did.
I want to hear what you guys did. Yeah.
Bring it on.
It was to anybody, to your parents, your siblings, a friend, somebody in the past who looked out for you or thought of you, somebody who helped you, somebody who you're just glad to have them around, a significant other. Oh. Well done. So right.
You do it regularly.
Right. I can see you totally doing that regularly. You seem like that kind of person. You seem like
lurking,
lives
log in.
Yeah.
All you people lurking, log in. So we want to see you.
If you're out there lurking, please do log in. Please share this episode. We really appreciate it. It makes us look so much cooler when we're out there. And everybody rewatching this, thank you. I see some of your comments on YouTube and Twitch later, especially the ones on YouTube. Thank you. It's always nice when you, yeah, thank you. Cool, awesome dude, Fury. Welcome. So anybody else do your gratitude. Now, remember, you got 3 more weeks to get your shit together.
We're going to keep asking you.
Yeah, we are.
Do it.
Yes, it can be word of mouth. Whatever your preferred way of telling somebody, hey, I appreciate you. Hey, thanks for doing it that time. Hey, you made my life feel better this time or always or this whenever, just anything.
Yeah.
You can even make that letter to yourself. Because I honestly think sometimes we don't give ourselves enough credit for not murdering other people. And we should give ourselves that kind of gratitude.
That doesn't mean doing this to yourself. That means really actually saying, there you go.
Dear self, thank you for not killing that person going slow in the left lane.
Yeah.
You're fucking awesome. Mwah.
Yeah, dear self, for not killing your coworker or, the customer that calls and tells you off. Yes.
Yes. Yes. Yes. Yeah, gratitude is gratitude.
Michael. You're welcome, Michael.
So,
and you are welcome, Lon.
Yeah, you guys are becoming like family. We appreciate you being here. So, of course.
Absolutely. All right. What about the Book of Wrong?
Yeah, keep spreading that gratitude. Because that, believe it or not, that vibe spreads. So if you do 3 letters a week, maybe one person will turn around and do it to somebody else. And maybe that person will do it to somebody else, and you'd be surprised. Like that type of thing, it really does spread. So there's an energy to it.
Yes.
So yes, I have this funny book somebody sent me. It is hilarious. So it's called Wrong by Jane O'Boyle. And because this episode is about everything wrong, I thought we could start off with some interesting stuff. It's called The Biggest Mistakes and Miscalculations Ever Made by People Who Should Have Known Better. So remember this when we're talking about, higher authority and experts and all of that. Remember that story I said last week about the father and his daughter giving her advice with the car. Sometimes you're in the wrong room. Sometimes you are really in the wrong room. Okay, so the first one. This is a quote. The wireless music box has no imaginable commercial value. Who would pay for a message to be sent to no one in particular? This is a 1915 response to David Sarnoff when he urged his telegraph associates to invest in new radio technology. Sarnoff eventually found support somewhere else and helped found RCA Records in 1919. So the wireless music box has no imaginable commercial value. Who would pay for a message to be sent to no one in particular?
Oh, no one at all.
I guess not.
No one at all. I'm sorry. Is that a smart box? I'm holding a wireless smart box.
In 1929, Irving Fisher, Yale University professor of economics, said, stocks have reached what seems like a permanently high plateau.
Oh, okay.
1929. Permanently high. Yale University professor of economics.
Okay.
Trust the experts. This one I really love. You bought yourself a cripple. New York Giants manager Bill Terry in 1935 berating farm team director George Weiss for signing a young rookie named Joe DiMaggio because the player had an injured knee. You bought yourself a cripple.
Sure did. Absolutely. The things you say.
Oh, boy.
Well, it's acceptable to say that too. It's like your mom, right?
Yeah. These next 3, that's proper Philadelphia English right there. These ones. All right. The internet will collapse within a year, quote, by Bob Metcalf, founder of 3Com Corporation in Info World magazine, December 1995. 1 year later, networking pioneer Metcalf took his own magazine article, liquefied it in a blender, and ate it with a spoon.
Oh, he earned it.
No, you got to give him props for that. He ate his own
Absolutely.
words. He ate his
He
own
did.
words. He was man enough to do it.
Right? Touche. Yeah.
Now, this one by far has got to be my favorite. Quote, the concept is interesting and well formed, but in order to earn better than a C grade, the idea must be feasible. That quote comes from a business professor at Yale University in 1966 on Fred Smith's senior thesis outlining a reliable overnight delivery service. Smith later founded Federal Express. So apparently FedEx was not feasible and only earned a C by the business professor at Yale University.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And cool, awesome dude. Thank you.
There you go.
Thank you. I thought this was low cut. It looked like it in my closet.
What are you wearing?
We're hockey.
Oh, look, it's the Lightning.
What are you wearing?
I am wearing the Flyers.
Oh, look, it's the Flyers.
Right. Oh yeah. Well, sorry. They
there.
Gotta represent Philadelphia. And they did play the Lightning last night.
They did. So that didn't go well.
No, it did not. Oops.
And last but not least, there's one more to ponder upon with the extreme intelligence of these experts and Yale educated people and all of that. With quote, with over 50 cars already on sale in the United States, the Japanese auto industry is not likely to carve out a big share of the market for itself. That was written by Business Week in 1968. Within 1 decade, Japanese cars had carved out a huge chunk of American car sales thanks to the superb fuel economy and a world oil crisis. So there's a whole book of stuff that people should not have said. So, and
we'll have to hear some more of that.
Trust me, because that book was published, dumb stuff isn't done being said. Just don't forget that.
I love
They're
it.
still saying and doing dumb things.
Well, whoever got you that book, it was a wise decision.
Mm-hmm. People send me the most amazing books on a regular basis, and I'm so grateful. So thank you. I think that was one that somebody sent. So, and I do read them. So
I got a book last week. I didn't get a chance to show you what it was. I got a left-hander's coloring book.
Oh my
It sounds so silly, but it's such a big deal.
That's awesome.
So I said something to somebody and I got it. So I'm excited to try it.
Yeah. Eva's going to be one of those people. You always hear about lefties. Like every year, a certain percentage of lefties get injured or die from using right-handed equipment. That's going to be her.
Yeah, I know, right? We have equipment like that at work, and I'm trying to show somebody it the other day, and I can't. It's sit in a righty position and everything is just difficult.
You should see her trying to fold together we have the
sunshade.
The sunshade, and the sunshade is one of those ones that goes, and every time she's just like,
it just doesn't work.
Can you just do it?
I don't know why I have it. I just can't figure it out. I get it, and then as soon as you talk to me or something, that's it. It doesn't work. So
I was a lefty too as a kid.
Right.
Yeah, as a kid, I was one too, and my mom switched me. So now I'm just confused. So because of that, I'm now right dominant, but I can still do things with my left hand, but my body is left. So last night we went to yoga class, and they kept wanting to start every side with their right side, and I'm just going with my left. They're like left. They're like right side. I'm like, wait, what? And I'm switching, and nothing about it feels right.
Right, Michael's right. Cousin's gotta love him. Yeah, we're a little mixed up, aren't we?
Yeah. With everything, like everything. I step right, I cartwheel right, all that's or left. I mean, sorry, I do everything left first. So yeah,
it's a little mixed up. They tried to fix me. It just didn't work. So I'm just still messed up.
We know.
But anyway, yeah, I know. We all know that too. And the more you know me, yes, the more that's true.
Yeah.
Anyway.
In hindsight, I'm glad my mom switched me. It's a lot easier in this right-handed world.
Yeah,
I don't want to
that's
buy
true.
special scissors and all that stuff.
Yeah, well,
So,
it makes me unique. I have unique things that other people can't use in my house. So,
fair
because it's
enough.
set up for a lefty, everything's set lefty in here.
Yes, and Alex is ambidextrous. Yes, sort
Some
of.
things
We
actually
both
don't
kind
count.
of are. Yeah.
Yeah. There's something I'm fine with some things. It was just difficult for sports and things like that growing up, but that's okay. I've learned. I didn't know they made a left-handed coloring book. It's really kind of cool.
Hmm.
So it's just everything's on the left
It's
page. So
basically a Japanese book because the Japanese go the other way. So it's just
don't tell me that. Don't tell me that. That's not right.
they,
That's
they
not
go
correct.
the other
I'm not
way.
gonna say
So
right now. I have to say correct.
okay.
Sorry. Anyway, that's not all right.
So
I
yes,
just
now
want
you
to
can
say I got a
color
cool book. I'm
you can
excited. I got
color
a cool
baby
book.
animals on the left side.
Yeah, they must rebuild. All right. Okay, that's correct, Michael. Now
Mhm.
I'm gonna get all confused what I'm saying. I'm gonna start talking Philly or something. Okay. Next. What else you got?
Let's see. We I have I'm gonna talk about some crazy stuff going on, and then I don't know if you guys have been paying attention. And hey, War Demon, hey
Hey,
yo, and
everyone.
Jerome,
All
people are
right.
trickling in. Hey,
Bring them all in.
welcome. Glad you're here. I don't know if you guys are paying attention to what's going on with Iran, but it's nuts. It's nuts over there. There's a full
It
on
is.
revolution to the point where they have cut the internet. Like there's no communications. Is anybody paying attention to this? Because like the media is not really doing anything with it.
I'm curious. I don't watch mainstream. Does anybody on here ever watch mainstream and do you see it? Anybody on here, please comment if you
Yeah,
do.
from what I understand, they're not doing much with it. So the Elon Musk's what is that thing called?
Starlink.
Starlink was getting some stuff out, and the rebel tech companies were able to get some videos out. So there are some, and if you go on Instagram and X, you will find some. And then there are Iranians all over that are helping to push that are outside of Iran. But the real thing is 1979, Iran was like us. Iran was like us. And then the Islamic regime came in and got rid of the Shah and flipped the whole country. And
Can
now
you explain what the Shah is for somebody that might not know?
I cannot because I'm not that educated.
Oh, okay.
But the Shah was basically like their president. So they were not a Muslim country.
Okay.
And they had a complete takeover of Islam. So the women were forced to head to toe cover. I mean, extreme, not like Islam light. They went Islam full on. Like if you
Okay.
show, if you know this, like nothing shows. They went full on. So it's become a very big human rights crisis where people have been endlessly, especially women have been killed over it's been nuts, and people are fed up with it and tired of it to where and they're warning, they're saying that this is what happened to us. We didn't do anything, we didn't speak up, we didn't stand up, and the West should be paying attention right now because it's on your doorstep. So it's interesting that they're trying to overthrow all of this. So we should be paying attention. And I think right now there's a very crazy news cycle with so much happening. But this is something to pay attention to because they're literally getting mowed down. It's it's really bad there. So I really hope that there's some kind of humanitarian aid that goes there because this is not good. And for the people who have come here to this country to escape that, and there are a lot of Muslims who are speaking out saying this is not what we want. We do not want that here. We want to live free and not be oppressed like that. They don't want that here either. So, it's, if you're not aware that it's happening, you might want to peek in and see what's going on. So
I did see, and I'm just going to make a comment about it because no matter what, it's a touchy subject. I saw in California there was people in the streets. I don't want to say protesting, really wasn't. It was a collection of people hollering about, help free Iran in California. And did you see that U-Haul truck? The U-Haul truck that mowed down a whole bunch of people.
What happened?
Oh
No.
yeah, this was day in California. So that made national news, but the other part of it didn't make national news of what's actually going on in Iran. So I was kind of sad to see that I saw these clips of this U-Haul truck running through all these crowd people in California, but you didn't see what was going on in Iran.
So you saw the effect, but not the cause.
Saw the effect in America, but you didn't see what was going on in
Right.
in
That's what happened with the whole ICE thing. You were seeing the
Exactly.
effect, but not the cause.
Right.
Like you see a lot of people saying this, and this, and this, but we're not seeing everything that led up to all that.
Yeah, and it was sad to see the it was not very pretty. So
No. Well, like I said, there's a lot of upheaval right now. So it's very easy for all kinds of distractions and noise and things to get drowned out. So if it is not, if you care about human rights, if this is a big deal, it's something to pay attention to. So if that is in your curiosity or something that you care about, that's something to pay attention to.
yes.
Lon,
I wasn't sure. I was like, I was trying to take that. Okay.
If a Persian leader attempted to flee the country to a distant destination, he would say, "And I ran so far, and I ran,
yeah. Right.
I ran so far away."
There used to be so many jokes about Iran. I know. Years ago it was such. Yes.
All right, I have a controversial opinion here.
Yes.
Speaking of controversy,
mm-hmm.
and this is a big one. Okay, this is super controversial. It's as controversial as anything religion or politics. Here it is. I think it's perfectly okay to text after 10 o'clock at night.
I do too.
Do you really? See, because I don't think texting's not the new phone call. People are trying to make texting the new phone call.
Oh, well, there's two sides to that. We had a conversation about that today, and I want to hear your side. And I'm going to bring up something.
Yeah, what do you guys think? Because there's people who are like, don't text after a certain hour. I'm like, bitch, fuck you. Like, the texting was created so you can get back to somebody when it's convenient. If you want to talk in real time, that's called a phone call or FaceTime. But a text is something that I get back to when it's convenient for me. And a lot of people work round the clock. Some people work first shift. Some people work second shift. Some people work third shift. If you are working second shift, you're getting back to messages at 2 a.m. So that is why there is a do not disturb option on your phone. Use it.
And why? And if you're sleeping at night, now I am guilty of this, and I shouldn't be doing this. Why would you have the phone in your room?
Yeah, when you could buy a perfectly good alarm clock.
Why do you have your phone in your room? Why do you have your phone in your room?
Well, I don't understand people that sleep with their phone under their pillow. Like, what are you doing? Yeah. That's crazy.
Okay, we all know, and April has talked about this, how bad 5G and all that stuff is for your brain, and you have it on your pillow, right under your brain. So put that phone in the kitchen, turn it on Do Not Disturb so you can get a good night's sleep, get by a regular alarm clock, so you can get your butt up. So when somebody texts you and responds to a text because somebody else that you know is a vampire, and while you're sleeping, then you can see the text in the morning when you get up while they're sleeping, and you can answer them and don't wake them up. Hint, hint.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, so somebody said something about that at work today, that it was after 10 o'clock and they were afraid to text the boss, that they weren't going to be in the morning because that particular boss, it gets up at like 4 a.m. and jogs. And so they're like, well, they were probably asleep. What do I do? I knew I was going to be late. So they texted somebody else to tell somebody this morning. I was like, well, you should have anyway. I mean, because you don't know. And that's a boss situation, which I think is different. I would do it anyway. I just do it. So.
Yeah, I know there are people like, you can't call, you can't text after a certain point. And I know other people that think texts are like phone calls. Like you have to, like they get upset if you don't text back right away.
What? That's a different conversation, isn't it?
They get really upset. Like they think that texting is an instant thing. Like, no.
Well, it originally was set up as an instantaneous. That's why it was called instant messaging.
I know. Thank you, Lori.
So it was called instant messaging. You remember that, right?
Yes.
Okay, so it was instant messaging.
And then it became FaceTime.
But no, that was what text messaging was, instant text messaging. Instant back and forth conversation.
No, that was different. Text messaging as we have it now evolved from Japan. So instant messaging is what Messenger came from.
Oh, I know. I was teasing, saying
okay.
it evolved from doing it online to your phone,
Right.
which should be the same response. So I think people generally expected that with text messaging that they expect to text right back. I'm not picking up the phone, but
Well,
I'm
that's having
texting you.
stupid expectations.
So
But in fact, sometimes I hate it. I see the 3 dots and I'm like, no, stop. I don't want to be the one that has to walk away, but I got to walk away. I got shit to do. The dogs need to walk, man. Like I need to get to the gym. Like sometimes I feel like I'm rushing at the gym because I've spent so much time doing messages that I just lost half my gym workout because I'm getting dragged behind. Listen, like my ass is fat now. It's twice as fat as it should be because I'm answering messages. Like it could be a lot leaner if no. So, you guys get caught up in this stuff? I get caught up in this stuff.
I think we all do. It's the same thing with desk scrolling, but okay, so if you're picking up the phone and calling somebody, it's still time consuming. No matter how you dice it, I guess but now with earbuds, it's not as time consuming because you can walk around and talk to somebody.
Yes. But phone call, you can get so much more done when you're on the phone. You can make a whole thing, and then all you do is say, food's here, gotta go. And then you're off the phone. Right?
Okay. Here's the other thing, too. I know some people that even if they're on the phone, they still don't get anything done because they pace. And I watch this. They go from one room to the other room to the other room. And all they do is wear the carpet or wear the wood. They're actually not getting anything done. They're just pacing. But so they're getting exercise at least. They're getting cardio. They're not sitting still doing this. So there is
Who are you referring to right now?
Nobody I know.
Okay. Are you asking for a friend?
No, I see you do it too. So, and I see other people do it.
Because it's called a kinetic thinker. Some people think better when they're moving.
Yes, that's true. It is funny to watch that, though.
Oh, Winona, right? Okay. She says, I've had people do that to me to the point where I've been chewed out and blocked because I didn't sit on my phone all day and answer you right back. Like, dude, chill. Oh, yeah. It's not that important. And I'm sorry. Actually, I have a life and shit to do when you clearly don't. Ding, 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 ding. This right here.
Yes.
This right here.
Yes.
Yes. And Eva, and Lori says, yes, no misunderstandings with a phone call, especially with tone and what somebody means. Because you can never detect tone through text. It gets completely lost, right?
Yeah. So that's correct. So texting after 10, do it. If you got to return a text, then return a text when you get a chance to do it.
Yeah. Let's bring back the whole text whenever you want thing and stop trying to normalize it as, phone call rules, because it's not. And Chris Wardemon was saying something about, wait, I don't get it. First you say stay. That's I can talk. First you say stay off social media and put your phone down. Now you're saying get on it. So this is an unusual circumstance where there's a lot going on. I'm advocating for balance. So most people don't have enough balance in their lives where they're death scrolling too much and they have their phone around them too much also. So there is a unique situation happening right now with a media blackout. As Jerome pointed out, there's a complete blackout going on. So what is getting out there that the media is also not mentioning is worth looking into. And the history is worth looking into. Yeah, it's an equal rights humanitarian thing that's kind of important.
Well, also too, the whole farmer thing going on and other things. It's always good to be informed and do a little bit here or there, just to keep informed and knowledge of what's going on in the world, even if it's half hour here or there during the day.
Yeah. So that leads us to our main story. There's a lot, and I always say there's a lot of what I call it outrage porn. They're always going to try and keep you outraged and distracted to keep you reactive and fighting each other. There's a lot of this week is fighting each other. Don't fall for that.
Before,
go ahead. What?
I'll say before you get into the big topics, something you posted and I thought was that picture from Philadelphia. you were talking
Oh
about.
my God, yes.
So the bait clicking and stuff like that. That was a really good example of that.
Yeah.
Of the wrong picture, the wrong place, or the wrong time. It was a Philadelphia Eagles game the other night.
Yeah.
And,
I don't even know if it was an Eagles game, but I'll share it real quick.
Well, the Eagles game was going on in Philly at that time, Saturday.
Okay.
And they were somebody had posted a picture saying there was a big protest going on in Philly at that time, which was inaccurate. The picture was from some other time, some other place, and it wasn't even happening at that time. And the picture was during the dark when the game was going on during the day.
Okay, so
there it is.
Yeah, so meanwhile in Delco posted this picture, which you can see is slammed with this right here.
That was not even going on. Not even accurate.
And what they posted with it was breaking: large crowds flood downtown Philadelphia. Streets are packed wall to wall as people gather. Please keep everyone involved in your thoughts as the situation continues to unfold. Now, this was right after the ICE thing happened. So they're literally instigating a situation. What happened was I said, pay attention to stuff like this. Paid disinformation pages to try to incite, of course, I can't spell, discontent or riots. This is a picture of a mass gathering in the past. People who live downtown, literally live downtown, said that didn't happen right then and there. And they said it was either a picture from New Year's Eve when the Eagles won the Super Bowl or when the Pope visited. So that was what was in the comments. So question everything you see and hear and then dig deeper for verification. So if you go into the comments section, I had actually posted some of these comments too. So it said, liar, that was when the Eagles won the championship and went Super Bowl. AI, notice it doesn't say why they're gathered. That was New Year's Eve. How are the people crushed in the sides of the building? So
it was very interesting. Yeah,
it's like why? So there's more comments like that, but I won't.
I mean, we have family and friends there, of course. We right away got on. I was like, "Is this what is this?" And they're like, "No, no, this is going on. The Eagles game is going on right now, and everything's fine."
Yeah,
I've got family that works in Philly as first responders. They're like, "No." So
yeah. And hi, Wally, welcome. Thanks for joining us. Yeah, this was a very marked attempt to, really just create a vibe everywhere, using everything possible to create discontent and misery and divide. So, and people are being paid, pages are being paid. So it's not a conspiracy theory. It's really happening. So knowledge is power. Be smarter than that.
Yeah.
And I know we have some of the smartest people watching the show,
Yeah.
These people, you people are, I said, you people are the smart ones. You're smart, you're talented, your eyes are open. So
yes,
I would say,
I just thought we should bring that up.
So. Yeah. Yep. So how many of you think that your government would never experiment on you especially Americans? How many of you think that you're safe? That people that we vote for, we pay taxes to, would never do anything crazy or do any experiments on us. Do you guys believe that?
I do. They would never do that.
So no, I realize, like I said, we have an extremely smart group of people, but not everybody has that view. A lot of people believe that they genuinely believe that the government is there to save them, protect them, and everything is good. But if you do a little digging, it is really interesting. You can use the term unethical human experimentation in the United States, and you would not believe what would come up. So a lot of it was radiation, torture, and testing with mind-altering substances. A lot of testing. They love children. They love the sick. They love the disabled. They love minorities. They love pregnant women. And they love doing it under the guise of medical treatment. So, and of course, everything's always safe and effective. So there's a long, long list of declassified documents that we'll go through. Now, declassified means they have to be X amount of years old before they can put it out there. But we'll go through a little bit of that. Now, mind you, this doesn't include cover-ups or things that could be going on today that might be declassified in the future. So also, mind you, all of this was denied and considered a conspiracy theory in the past. So the reason we will share this with you is because history and knowledge is power. So it gives you the ability to recognize the present and what's going on. So one of my favorites, I'm just going to cut straight to it. One of my favorites, a lot of people know the Tuskegee experiment and things like that, Havana syndrome, which we'll touch on too. But one of my favorites and really nobody knows about is Operation Sea Spray. Anybody heard of that one? Now, I can't pronounce some of this, so forgive me because it's above my pay grade here. But Operation Sea Spray, I'm going to read it to you, was a 1950 U.S. Navy secret biological warfare experiment in which Serratia maritians and Bacillus globigi, I'm probably saying that's so wrong, bacteria, 2 different bacteria, were sprayed over San Francisco Bay Area for 1 week in California under the guise of fog in order to determine how vulnerable a city like San Francisco might be to a bioweapon attack. There's been speculation that the experiment may have contributed to 1 death and at least 11 illnesses. Now, when a government says 1 death and 10 illnesses, you can usually multiply that by 10. For example, last month, it came out that the government admitted that the COVID shot contributed to 10 children dying. So only 10. Only 10. Okay. So if you know what you know that it was not 10 children dying. So there's that. All right, military testing starting on September 20th, 1950 and continuing until September 27th. And the U.S. Navy released the 2 types of bacteria from a ship off the shore of San Francisco. Based on results from monitoring equipment at 43 different locations around the city, the Army determined that San Francisco had received enough of the dose for nearly all of the city's 800,000 residents to inhale at least 5,000 of the particles. This is within the range for ineffectivity for anthrax. All of a sudden, everybody started getting sick. They started checking into the Stanford Hospital with very rare, very serious urinary tract and respiratory infections. People died. Heart valve infections. Some they were saying had urinary tract infections and heart valve issues that were, quote, similar to what drug addicts have. So I wonder how many people were listed as drug addicts instead of this particular, they listed as something else. Like, oh yeah, like it was a blood clot or a heart attack instead of what actually it was that caused that. So the families filed suit. That's how this all came out. So what's interesting is what happened after that. And this is only out because of Senate subcommittee hearings in 1977. So between 1949 and 1969, open air tests of biological agents in America were conducted how many times do you think?
Way more than people realize, because I actually found some more of that today.
Just give me a number. What do you think? How many times do you think we were experimented on?
Oh, thousands.
Nope, 239. Well, it might be thousands. It might be thousands. Yeah. Okay. Well, according to the Senate hearing, it was 239 times.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You're going to love this, though.
Yeah.
In 80 of those experiments, the Army said it used live bacteria that its researchers at the time thought were harmless. In others, it used inert chemicals to stimulate bacteria. So in the 1950s, Army researchers dispersed that Serratia on Panama City, Florida, and Key West, Florida. In the 1950s, Army researchers dispersed zinc cadmium sulfite, a known cancer-causing agent, over Minnesota and other Midwestern states to see how far it would spread in the atmosphere. The particles were detected more than 1,000 miles away in New York. The Bacillus was released again in San Francisco, then in New York, Washington, D.C., along the Pennsylvania Turnpike.
Mhm.
In New York, military researchers in 1966 spread the Bacillus variant Niger in the subway system by dropping light bulbs filled with the bacteria onto tracks and stations in Midtown Manhattan. The bacteria was carried for miles throughout the subway system. They concluded that, quote, similar covert attacks with a pathogenic disease-causing agent during peak traffic periods, which is when they did it, could be expected to expose large numbers of people to infection and subsequent illness or death. In May 1965, secret release of a Bacillus at Washington's National Airport and its Greyhound lines, bus terminals. More than 130 passengers were exposed to the bacteria, and then went on to travel to 39 cities in 7 states in the 2 weeks following the attack. So there's that, just for fun, the ones that people don't really know about.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, thank you, Fernando. Cringe.
Exactly.
Cringe. So, Alex asks a good question. Could it have caused immune disease, autoimmune diseases? When exactly did autoimmune diseases start to become a thing? Because I don't remember it past the last two-ish.
Well, if you look at it, a lot of this
generations,
a lot of these testings that I was reading about as well stopped in 60s and 70s in America over the spraying or the dropping of these biochemicals elsewhere. And so if you think about it, that's when a lot of this started, either in its people that were born or were already born in the 60s and 70s. So that's, seems like if you follow the time frames, autoimmune started to grow. Also too, that's when they were messing with bugs and lots of other things and our food products. So if you look at all that, there's a trend there.
Well, let me rattle down some of these real quick, because we're going to talk about how this ties into World War II. And Winona says something, and we're also going to discuss some other question that I have. She says, I wonder how many of these experiments were geared toward trying to find out how many people who were gifted and tried to manipulate and use those gifts for their own personal gain.
There's that too. That's like a whole different subject.
What was that one with the autism?
Well, they did the psychic experiments.
But what was that series called?
Oh,
what was it called? The telepathy tapes.
Yeah, the telepathy tapes, and there's
telepathy tapes.
Yeah, so hold that one. We should do a whole thing on that.
Yeah, hold that one. We'll just mention it here.
Thing on
the telepathy tapes was the theory.
Unethical, yeah.
The theory that they're trying to specifically create nonverbal autistic people because of their enhanced ability for telepathy and communication. Again, just a theory, crazy theory, but yeah, just that. Okay, so let's go down the list real quick, because it's really interesting, and this also, some of it ties into there's some really weird things where things tie in, and I want to mention a couple of things here. As always, when we bring things up, we have ideas and solutions to go with them. So having a high immune system, like they inverted the food pyramid this past week, yay, it's exactly what we've been telling you for a long time. Base your diet around proteins, fats, fruits, vegetables. It's everything we've been telling you for a long time. Have a good diet, keep your immune system strong. And then also with some of the things that we're going to tell you about, I will mention again, trees. Surround yourself with trees. And that will come into the end of this. Trees block a lot. So let's go into some of these real quick. And thank you, cool, awesome dude. Yeah, you're right. Alex, he said, when did lupus come on the scene to where it is now? It's a good question. Here's a question I have that I would like to know. Let me find it how I framed it, because this is something I started thinking about. If autism is strictly hereditary, like so many are claiming, strictly hereditary, why isn't it detectable during amniocentesis or scans like nearly every other form of a type of defect are? I haven't seen anyone able to answer that question yet. So Down's syndrome is also classed as the same type of neurodevelopmental disorder. So if they can, and have been able to for a very long time, been able to use testing to detect Down syndrome, why wouldn't they be able to detect autism, assuming it's already there during the pregnancy? Is that because it's not already there during the pregnancy? Or is that because it's only partial? Or is that because it's partially hereditary and partially brought on by environmental factors?
I think it's more likely that, but who am I?
Yeah, I think it's a two-part equation. So, and for some reason, people love to think it's this or this. It's 100% hereditary. It's 100% vaccines. Personally, I think it takes two. It takes two. So, or maybe not even vaccines, maybe something else hereditary, but I think it takes two. So, because at this point, this far, with these many medical advances, with so many medical advances that can detect all kinds of DNA and genetic everything at this, So it doesn't make sense now. And when we first started doing this is when it was like 1 in 200 had autism. Now we're 1 in 33. You telling me there's really nobody, all the money that autism awareness, autism research, all this, there's no money for any of this testing? Or it doesn't make any sense. None of it makes sense. So, like I said, my mom was autistic. So my grandma thought that it was her fault because when my grandfather died in the war, she stopped eating. She was under so much stress, she stopped eating. And she swore that it was her fault that my mom was on the spectrum. So I think it's multiple things. So it seems to be a question nobody's asking, or nobody wants to answer, basically. But to go back to unethical human experiments, there are some here, and I honestly believe that people should think more before jumping into any kind of testing, especially, as I said, these are all, like I said, under the guise of medical treatments. So past examples of unethical experiments include the exposure to humans to chemical and biological weapons, including infections with deadly or debilitating diseases, human radiation experiments, injections of toxic and radioactive chemicals, surgical experiments, interrogation and torture experiments, tests which involved mind-altering substances, and a wide variety of other experiments. Many of these tests were performed on children, the sick, the mentally disabled individuals, often under the guise of medical treatment. In many of the studies, a large portion of these subjects were poor racial minorities or prisoners. These experiments violated U.S. law even at the time, and were in some cases directly sponsored by the government agencies. Almost all of them were CIA, or rogue elements thereof, including the CDC, the U.S. military, the CIA, and in other cases were sponsored by private corporations which were involved in these military activities. So y'all hear that, right? These were sponsored by the CDC, the military, the CIA. even though they clearly violated the current law at the time. The human research programs were unusually high secretive and performed without the knowledge of authorization of Congress, and in many cases, information about them was not released until many years after the studies had been performed. The ethical, professional, and legal implications of this in the United States medical and scientific community were quite significant and led to many institutions and policies that attempted to ensure that future human subject research in the U.S. would be ethical and legal. It led to numerous congressional investigations and hearings, including the Church Committee, the Rockefeller Commission, and the Advisory Committee on Human Radiation Experiments. So here are some surgical experiments. Marion Sims, often referred to as the father of gynecology. Yeah, gynecology, sorry. Still haven't finished all my coffee here. He performed surgical experiments on infants, enslaved African women, and girls as young as the age of 13 without anesthesia to treat conditions. Slave owners were willing to negotiate with Sims for access to these women due to their fertility's economic value if cured. The patients, one of whom was operated on 30 times with no anesthesia, suffered from infections and many failed surgeries before they were cured of vaginal fistula. The period between 1845 and 1849, during which Sims operated on enslaved women, was one during which the new practice of anesthesia was not universally accepted as safe and effective. While Sims did not use anesthesia in the experiments he performed on these women, he later used it on white female patients. So, there was a letter that was found many years later. The Germans kept such good documents during the war that's what screwed them. By Germans, I mean the Nazis, where there was a letter asking for 150 females that were in the camps, and the demand was 200 marks for them. The person, the guy in charge wrote back and said 200 marks is too much for 150 slaves or whatever they were, inmates. These women are not worth more than 170 marks. So that price was agreed upon, and the 150 female inmates were sent over. Then there was a follow-up letter saying that thank you for the shipment. All 150 were extinguished. We'll contact you for another shipment soon. So this happened all over the place. It's interesting how, here's another one.
I've got a whole list too that even a whole bunch you haven't even touched on.
No, I'm sure. Go ahead. Because I see like Philadelphia researchers. Yeah, go ahead and rattle yours off.
So these are documented ones. These are factual ones that are recorded through the government as well, and these are government ones that archived records of radiation experiments of 4,000 different studies in all. This is by our own government. Okay. That between 1944 and 1974 alone, and this is on American military, everything from including the Tuskegee through in the search of effective polio vaccines, and where I'm reading LSD from the CIA that was done on warfare testing on American soil with soldiers, children, human experimentation in the United States even before and after 1940, all the way up through 1974, actually from the 1906 to 1974. upwards of, let's see, the syphilis study to experimenting in Manila on prisoners for, I'm going to say this wrong, cholera. I know I'm going to say that wrong.
Cholera.
Yes.
Yeah.
Where they experimented with that to find a vaccine where all men fell ill and 13 died. It was later shown that they contaminated it with live plague organisms, and they knew this.
Cholera is spread by poo-poos.
Yeah, that's right.
They infected them with infected
medical
poo-poos.
research. They were subjected to lengthy investigations, and they actually exonerated the doctors who did this because it was under that blanket, and the government knew about it. As well as in 1912, beriberi disease was also involving inmates from Manila's prison, so it was involved with other countries as well. We were using Americans over there. The Public Health Service in 1932 had the longest running non-therapeutic research study in American history. That was also involving the syphilis studies, where they used 400 African American men diagnosed with syphilis.
It's like the Tuskegee experiment.
Exactly, where they were also puncturing their lumbar spines as special treatment studies. Even though after in 1947, when the Nuremberg Code came into play, that they were still using biological warfare testing on American soil.
The Nuremberg Code didn't do shit, and we saw that. And by the way, on this day in 2022, the Supreme Court voted 6-3 that medical mandates, vaccine mandates through businesses could no longer be enforced. And that was because of you all who stood your ground and said no and pushed back. That was because of you guys, because they did that. So
yeah, I mean, they used
your voices matter. Your voices matter.
They do, and then they use prisoners in both state and federal to participate in research of infectious diseases.
Yes.
The National Jewish Hospital in Denver tested on newly developed vaccine on tuberculosis. Colorado State Prison, in order to gain access to populations, they used encephalitis in St. Louis public. They used in the city of St. Louis. The public didn't even know about that one.
Encephalitis is swelling. It's usually brain swelling.
In 1940, they involved small numbers of research subjects in, again, St. Louis City. Didn't even tell the public about that. 1941, Roosevelt established the Office for Scientific Research and Development, where he used $24 million established by the government. 137 of those institutions were paid to do research on chemical warfare agents for the prevention or cure of infectious diseases, especially likely to encountered by the armed forces. That money was given to the Army and other agencies, including the Army, where 60,000 American service personnel were documented to be part of the mustard gas and all that as well. So 4,000 servicemen participated in the trials of the high concentrations for that. And this is all, prior to Vietnam.
And that's not voluntary, right? You're with your military. You have to do it.
This was part of, what they were included to do. And respiratory cancers to lung cancers to skin cancer to leukemia, chronic respiratory disease. Now, these are all things that they were put and deemed to be a part of. You were where you lived for a while at that base out there where your dad was stationed.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, what I read about that place today was unbelievable before, in the 40s of what they did there too. Excuse me, in the 60s. Yeah, I was reading about that. I was like, oh my God, what they did there was unbelievable.
The radiation experiments are the ones that kill me. Like, just see how much we can handle. Like,
massive blood collections. They were trying to use that money to find an alternative to blood. I was like, what? I didn't know about that. That this was done in Harvard to protein chemists. They were using bovine to come up with an alternative to blood because they were thought that they were going to need that for the war. There wasn't enough blood in the world because it was all contaminated from these chemicals. Gee, like that wasn't a thought. And they actually thought they came up with a solution to replace human blood from the contaminated blood to keep people alive.
To use
So
cow blood?
No, they're actually bovine.
That's
blood.
what bovine is. That's cow blood.
Yeah, bovine. Instead, they turned around. They were doing this in Boston, Minneapolis, Massachusetts, and then they killed a whole bunch of people off. And this is documented. This is actual documentation with the government that they did this. It was amazing, and then people received a sum of $100 for their time.
Oh, all that much?
Families were given, just all. I mean, this is endless of what I was finding today.
This doesn't even cover, like I said, this doesn't even cover psychological experiments, psyops, cover-ups. But
this is just the medical BS.
Yeah.
And how they dispersed it in the subway was light bulbs, by the way, in New York. I found that. So the light bulbs in the subway.
Yeah, they like to do that, it seems like. A lot of psychological experiments have been done too. The Office of Strategic Services, the OSS, started developing a truth drug,
truth drug,
known as Project Chatter. There have been a lot of projects, but the one that most people know about is MK Ultra.
Mm-hmm.
In 1953, the CIA placed several of its interrogation and mind control programs under the direction of a single program known by the code name MK Ultra. So the director of the CIA complained about not having enough human guinea pigs to try these extraordinary techniques. So the project was under the direct command of Dr. Sidney Gottlieb, and it received over $25 million and involved hundreds of experiments on human subjects at 80 different institutions. Mm-hmm. And quote, "We intend to investigate the development of a chemical material which causes a reversible, non-toxic, aberrant mental state, a specific nature of which can be reasonably well predicted for each individual. This material could potentially aid in discrediting individuals, eliciting information, and implanting suggestions and other forms of mental control." Now, this was from the internal CIA memo. So they used psychotropic drugs unwillingly on people who did not know they were being tripped out, basically.
They did that at Fort Detrick also.
They also, CIA's Project QK Hilltop was created to study Chinese brainwashing techniques and develop effective methods of interrogation. So there's a whole lot of psychological things here that are fascinating if you look into it. It's what's crazy is there's so much. I mean, it just goes on and on and on, and then it stops. So it stops because they can't go past a certain date because things have to be declassified. So we really only go up to like, what is this, the 60s or 70s?
Actually, 70s. Actually, no, through the 90s. And I found something from 2000s I was going to tell you.
But here's one that people should know that came out. In 2004, University of Minnesota research participants Dan Markinson died by suicide while enrolled in an industry-sponsored pharmaceutical trial comparing FDA-approved atypical antipsychotics, Seroquel, Zyprexa, and risperidol. These are all SSRIs, so antidepressants. Writing on the circumstances surrounding Markinson's death in the study, which was designed and funded by Seroquel manufacturer AstraZeneca, University of Minnesota professor of bioethics noted that Markinson was enrolled in the study against the wishes of his mother and was forced to choose between enrolling in the study or being involuntarily committed to a state mental institution. Further investigation revealed financial ties to AstraZeneca by Markinson's psychiatrist, oversights and biases in AstraZeneca's trial design, and the inadequacy of University Institutional Review Board protections for research subjects. a 2005 FDA investigation cleared the university.
Mm-hmm.
Nonetheless, controversy surrounded the case, and it has continued. It resulted in the group of university faculty members sending a public letter to the University Board of Regents urging an external investigation into his death. And if you are familiar with what goes on with SSRIs and the hidden side effects, there's been a lot of issues around that they've hidden. That happened with the Sacklers too, the big huge oxycodone thing that they hid.
You remember, Merck Pharmaceuticals.
Mm-hmm.
Merck Pharmaceuticals had a facility at Camp Dietrich. Now is what is Fort Detrick, which has changed.
Mm-hmm.
So they actually worked with the Army as part of that extensive amount of money. And at Fort Detrick's, where they investigated anthrax and other toxins, infectious organisms, potential as biological warfare. This is all the way through the 70s, by the way. And that they were supposed to have stopped this by this point. And the reason how they got caught was because they were using human volunteers there, by the way. Experimenting with that was the large purchase of guinea pigs they kept doing. They had the world's largest purchase of guinea pigs, and that's how they got caught. And they were also, at the same time, the authorities there had recruited 2,200 American soldiers, and you were using the Seventh-day Adventist Church, and volunteers from the church were working with the Army Surgeon General's office as volunteers. So they were using the church as a cover called the Project Whitecoat. And they, to Q fever and a bunch of others, encephalitis, different things, Rocky Mountain spotted fever, this was all being done there. Typhoid fever, Rift Valley fever, until they were all busted and it all got broken up there. And this was all, and everybody was all exonerated, all same thing, under the same masking of the same thing. All the families were given, this amount of money, blah, 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 on and on. And all under the researchers thing. So when all this started coming out, and actually this was one thing that Bill Clinton did, he did good with all that in the 90s, to try and get all this become public. And this wasn't just America. This was the Germans. This was London. This was China. This was Japanese. This was the Japanese doing it in China, cutting off arms, sewing them back on.
Right.
It is endless. And it wasn't just America. It's just America was actually behind the times of doing it, believe it or not.
Thank God. We still did it. We still did it. We still have a long list of things that we did that we shouldn't have done. And hi, Cheng Fu. So there's
no, I was going to say, you were talking about the 2000s. I found something interesting on Pfizer.
Okay, and then I wanted to mention something else in here and read some of the comments because people have some really good comments here.
Oh my God, yes, I'm watching this flow, and then I will stop there. So, U.S. drug companies continued to face accusations of unethical experience. I'm sorry, I'm reading without my glasses tonight. So, reports emerged that the company Pfizer had not obtained informed consent when testing antibiotic Trovon on children in Nigeria. It's been a controversy of unethical human experiment involving Chinese researchers in conjunction with Pfizer Pharmaceutical, modifying DNA of human fetuses. And so I won't read any more of that because I haven't dug up in any more of that to find the specifics, but it is still up to the year 2018 is the claim, and they are being sued through multiple countries for this. Whether or not it'll ever go anywhere, I don't know, because Pfizer is huge, and they have
endless pockets. Endless.
Yes, and they're using it as
Let
the
me
blanket of resistance to HIV and all these other things I was reading. So I got to dig a little bit more into that, but it was interesting to see all this mentioned in a report that I found by a PhD doctor when I was digging around.
well,
Let's see.
Colin says, I'm going to read some of these and tie in some other stuff. Colin says in Anniston, Alabama, the military base that was shut down was a chemical weapons research base. Monsanto was also caught dumping stuff in the water. They shut everything down and Monsanto had to pay. And we're going to come back to Monsanto in a minute. But that reminds me of an article somebody sent me recently about an area of New Brunswick, Canada, where there's a mystery brain disease happening. It first happened to just a few people, and then it happened to 48, and now it has gone to 500. And it's such a rare brain disease that they don't know what's happening. And of course, the Canadian government investigated. And when you hear about something like this, there's really only like two logical answers, right? One is that people have been infected. So it's usually something environmental, something like you said that's been dumped in the water, or something that's a chemical, or something that's spread through the food supply or air supply, because it's specific. It's such a rare thing. But of course, the Canadian government found out that, of course, the corporations there are clean. So that is happening right now. This is today's conspiracy theory that in 20 years will be declassified. Mark my words. There's also the stuff going on. There's still human experimentation going on now. There are live organ transplants or live organ harvesting. That's happening. If you look at what's happening with MAID in Canada, look at what's happening with organs being taken in China, and America is the largest buyer of organs. If you look at, I know a lot of people don't want to hear about it, but weather modification, it is happening. So Havana syndrome, there's so many things happening, so many cover-ups, just because we cut a date off and said, okay, 1975, these are all the things we've exposed. Mm-hmm. These are all declassified. Obviously, none of this stuff will ever happen again. Bullshit. Mm-hmm. The SSRIs alone are worth digging into, because almost every mass shooter, every school shooter in America was on some kind of psychological drug, legal, FDA approved psychological drug. So it's interesting. Now, Amber says, and she says that there's a GATE program, GATE.
I am aware of that.
Yeah. Currently in operation. If all these people are putting their kids in the, I think it's supposed to be GATE program. The school, the school is giving them to the government, and now they're doing this to my grandchild. If more people knew what the GATE program was, they would freak out.
That was in play when we were kids, GATE program.
Yep. Winona said, I had 3 uncles in Nam and only one is living. The other died of cancer and another had early dementia. Yeah, because there's a lot going on there that affected people long-term beyond just PTSD. And they use a lot of drugs, a lot of chemicals. Lori said the Tuskegee syphilis trials in 1932 through 1972 in the United States, not treating people of color, not telling them, lack of informed consent. And that lack of informed consent still happens. Yep. And that was my biggest argument with the COVID vaccine. There was a severe lack of informed consent. People did not know fully what was going on there to make an educated choice. That was my biggest issue, that and the mandates. Let's see here. More interesting ones. Hang on, we're going through all these. Colin said that's how they knew something was wrong in Anniston, Alabama. 21-year-olds started getting diseases elderly and AIDS patients would get. Yeah, that's usually a sign. Hello, Jameer. Welcome. Better late than never. Hey. And Amber says they were all in the GATE program. That's interesting. And Amber says this is how they're getting the under the skin access from what I sent you from Sabrina, it's how they gain access to large populations. So here's something that ties into what you mentioned. You guys mentioned Monsanto. So how did this happen? So there's a really sordid history that traces back. So in 1945, when World War II ended, Werner von Braun, who was a Third Reich soldier, I guess you would say, he was in the Third Reich. He was a weapons designer. He designed V2 missiles that were responsible for killing more people. And the Americans did a top secret transfer of the weapons designers and the scientists in Germany. Most of them are not, a lot of them are Nazi scientists. So if you are familiar with what the Nazi scientists did, it was not pretty. They experimented on people. They would experiment on them to see how much pain they could take, how much gas they could take, how much torture they could take. You have guys like Josef Mengele, he was nicknamed the Angel of Death. He particularly loved twins. He would take twins and do all kinds of experiments to them. They brought that data over. They brought these scientists over. They tried to keep it very quiet. They tried to scrub the files. They brought them over to New York. They moved many of these scientists and weapons designers around. They gave them jobs high up into the government, and everybody was gainfully employed and taken care of. And it was called Operation Paperclip. So paperclip for, they didn't want it to sound like anything military. These people who made the gas for the gas chambers that exterminated so many people like they were rats and nothing more, went on to create Agent Orange, and then later became part of Monsanto Bayer, like Bayer, aspirin Bayer, Monsanto, like what sprays on our food. So that was in 1954. Then they started making crop chemicals for our food. What could go wrong?
Right.
What could go wrong? Incidentally, this is the same food that is banned in every other country. There is no country who will take our food with the toxins on there. A lot of our food, it just cannot be shipped. They don't trust it. It contains things that they will never eat. So they imported the Nazi scientists and weapons designers, and that who is running the top of the food chain and the chemical companies and the corporations today. So isn't that interesting?
It is. So very interesting.
Monsanto Bayer. And we wonder why we have more sickness, we have more autoimmune, we have more lupus, we have more issues. These are the same sociopaths that experimented on humans before with no regard, no remorse. Remember that we've heard over and over again, when they tell you who they are and what they're going to do, you should listen to them. We've heard the people from the World Economic Forum repeatedly say, we have to get rid of these useless eaters. So the world is overpopulated. So maybe we should pay attention. Maybe we should learn from history. So there is another woman out there, which I will finish on, named Dawn Christine. You can find her on Facebook. She's out of San Diego, California. Now, this is a conspiracy theory, or theory anyway. She claims that we are just nodes tethered to the cloud. So, and that our electric bodies are being hijacked into AI consciousness. She claims, this is related to vertigo, headaches, autoimmune. She claims that when we're feeling spacey, when we're feeling not connected, when we're feeling not all there, it's because some of us were being taken. I don't know if that's true or not, but it might be something worth digging into. It might be a far out theory. But at this point, after the things we have experienced over the past couple of years, would you really rule anything out, especially with the advanced science and technology that they do have? I wouldn't rule anything out. So it's worth paying attention to. Now, on that note, what is interesting is the more surrounded by trees that you are, the more it blocks all the signals. That could be why there's a big war on trees. So if
Too, the
you,
more oxygen, the more you feel better.
yes, more demon, mwah, have a good night. So if you are in an area, or you can go ahead and plant more trees, the more trees you have, the more it blocks Wi-Fi signals, the more it blocks all kinds of signals. So that is something to pay attention to and consider for your future, kids' future, all that. So again, yeah, more oxygen, more blockage. So
Yes.
think about that. And there's also the concept of heavy metals. How much are you taking in? I think there's a link with graphene oxide too. She mentioned graphene oxide. I think there's something there with all of this. I don't know enough to actually say anything about that theory yet, but raising your immune system to have it as high as humanly possible is also a really good thing. So taking things that keep you mentally, keep your mentality, keeping you mentally sharp.
True.
Keep you mentally sharp, keep you healthy, do your fish oils, take your things, take your vitamin D, take all your good stuff. So keep yourself healthy. So
Yes.
I do believe that there is a spiritual and energetic war out there. There's good and bad. Sometimes I wonder, I know this might sound crazy, but I'm not sure that everybody on this earth, where we are inhabiting, I'm not sure they're all human. Sometimes I think there are entities created to keep us at a lower vibration, to keep us in, to keep us struggling. So, I don't know. What's your theory on that?
I agree. I think all we can do is fight back and plant those trees and take vitamins and do everything to stay healthy as much as you can. Get outside, get the fresh air.
I think fighting back is to be happy, though.
Yeah, fighting back,
Yeah.
happy, healthy.
Yeah.
Talk to people, socialize,
Yeah.
get off
Yeah.
the screens.
When you think fighting back, you think fighting, but in
No.
actuality, I think fighting back is going the opposite way, is to find the happy in every day, find satisfaction in your job, find laughter, stop and smell the flowers, look at things, enjoy, because that's the way of fighting back, where you're actually raising your energy, raising your vibration. Because if there's negative entities out there, or shitty energy, you make yourself untouchable to them.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Michael says a lot of crazies out there. My hospital went through a stretch with so many Baker Acts. I think that's going on everywhere. So
I think so too.
Amber says there's people have attachments like that movie Odd Norman. That's what they look like. Seeing one will scare you out of your pants, like almost like a demon attachment, right? Bad energy attachment.
Yeah, you got to stay positive. Michael's right, and build people up. And again, it goes back to why we were doing that challenge, was to help spread the positivity, to keep the good energy going from Christmas, because we all need to hear that.
Yeah. So. Yeah. Winona says, I believe sometimes the result of parakinetic energy that we create that takes on human form.
Nice.
Yeah. And Michael says, we have never had so many here lately. Well, it is after Christmas. And in January, a lot of stuff happens. And it's also the highest month of death, because a lot of people hang on until the holidays and then they go. So stuff happens then. So, I believe you, but it's also a tough month for a lot of people. Yes, definitely spread good vibes. That's why we said it. So do your three gratitude things each week: phone calls, text, letter. Spread the good energy. That's fighting the good fight. And as gay as it sounds, love really does conquer all. Amber says the pit has been opened at CERN. Watch out, the Large Hadron Collider. Yeah, I know.
Hey, a little bit of housekeeping. Follow the show. Follow us.
Yes.
April's on TikTok, if you guys don't know this. We're pushing the show hard on TikTok, on YouTube. Change the algorithms, change your life, get things going in there. Don't forget, she's got a fan page. She's got, she's on YouTube.
I do.
She's all
Patreon.
over the place.
Yeah, patreon.com, April Hunter. If you want to support me, I appreciate it very, very much. It allows us to keep doing the show. It's free to be a patron. It allows me to stay in touch with you if anything else goes down or they get mad at us, because those terms of services is always changing. So you never know. So if you stay a patron, we can stay in touch. And like I said, you can do it for free, but if you decide to volunteer a few bucks every month, we love that too. Very, very much.
Please share the clips, share things, get us out there. Don't forget, we're on the audio. I see that's been ticking up. Please keep sharing the audio.
Yeah,
thank you.
That's on Spotify, right?
Spotify, Apple Podcast, iTunes. It is on Podbean, just about every platform out there. And thank you for everybody's support. And we have a guest next week.
We do. Oh, yes, we do. We have Maria DeVivo. We finally get her to, and thank you to all who share and everything. We appreciate it. Maria DeVivo, horror. How would you classify her? As horror, erotic horror.
Erotic, fantasy, author.
Yes.
So, if you've been to Tampa Bay Scream,
and she's hot. She's hot.
She's hot. I'm reading one of her books. It's freaking fantastic. She is just awesome. I'm loving her book. She is amazing. She's just a good person. So I look forward to her next week too.
That's awesome.
So, and get on here, share the show, comment on people's things. We were talking about that last week. So so many people get on Facebook and other things, and wherever you get on, and you just do an emoji.
Mm-hmm.
Comment, and you know what? That also makes people realize you actually give a shit too sometimes.
Yeah.
Instead of just scrolling through and go, hey, you're just click, and you're catching up to the people. That could be your way of reaching out to some of those people too. And just doing that. So
absolutely, yes, she's been at Screams, and her name is Maria DeVivo.
Yes.
Yep. Dark romance. Thank you. That's a good one.
Yeah.
I like it. I've read some of her book with Eva. Read some of it out loud. She writes really, really well. It's good.
Yeah.
And Alex, you brought something up before you guys go real quick.
Yes.
Alex said that Valentine's Day can be tough for some people, if not many people. Real quick in the comments for the people who are left, what type of show or theme would you like to see for Valentine's Day? So
that's a really good question. I'd like to hear that.
Yeah, because I'll see if we can swing something if you guys give us some ideas. And since it seems like some of our hardcore regulars are with us, we'd rather we like hearing from you.
Yeah.
So we can do something different if you want, but
do you want?
Not for you, huh? All right, that's a good thing. So
do you want history? Do you want an actual love type show? Do you want? Wait. There's we talked about.
We'll contact the toy places and review the sex toys.
Yes, we talked about doing that too. Something really crazy too.
Okay, so this one here.
Yeah.
This one here was kind of not practical, but it looked really good.
Yeah, there could be something interesting. We could do sex toy reviews. What do you guys think about
marriage? Is it viable or sustainable? Good, Michael. I'm happy to hear that.
All right.
Good. You deserve everything good that comes to you.
What if we did a little bit of everything? What if we did some reviews? We had some fun stuff at Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
A little bit of everything.
Alex says he sees Valentine's Day as a romantic thing. It can be. But if you're doing it right, Alex, if you're doing it right, you don't need Valentine's Day because every day is Valentine's Day.
And Lori had a good point too. What single people can do not to get caught up on that day. Yeah, there's a stigma to it.
There is. I mean, if you're single on Valentine's Day, never do you feel more fucking single than that week.
No shit.
So it's like all around you. But I've noticed a big trend with Galentine's Day.
Yep. And there's horror stories for that too. Yes, I like it,
So,
Winona.
which I think we should do. Valentine's Day.
Valentine's Day. Okay,
Yeah.
like
Oh,
it.
oh,
Hold that thought. Hold on, wait. Don't answer that question real quick. I see that down there. Hold that
yeah.
question.
What, the Nicki
All right.
Minaj challenge?
Yeah. Don't answer that just yet. Okay.
Wow.
I know. I was going to ask you that question anyway. Then the show would.
I didn't do
Just
it for
because.
I didn't do it for shoot style yet. I did try it. I sent you the pictures, right? So I was wearing my pajamas the other night with I had no makeup on and a robe, and I just thought, oh, I'm just gonna try it. Like, you know, the Nicki Minaj balance thing where she's down and with a high heel and then crosses her leg with another one, right? I'm like, I do my squats every day. I have great balance. I go to get down and do it. I'm like, oh shit. First, I thought, I'm going to do it without the high heel. You can't. You need to wear the heel. So I go find a pair of boots. I squat down to do it. I put one leg over, and I'm like, bloop. I went sideways, fell on the dog. So it was not graceful. So then I got up, I balanced, and I was like, okay, all right, okay. But it was, you know, I'm here like this. All your weight is on your left ankle, all of it. And I have these skinny ass little ankles that I can literally, that's how big my ankle is. So I was like, oh my God. So yeah, I fell for that trend, but it was cool. I appreciate that, Alex, because I love having a challenge, and that one was a good one. So I did it. I sent him the snapshots, and he's like, I would love to see a shoot this way. Then I realized she had her full foot on the floor. So I don't know if I could get my full foot on the floor. But yeah, one of these days, if I'm dressed up, maybe we'll have to try and do a 360-degree photo shoot. I just want to see if I could do it, just like at all. So,
well,
I should have done it in the Santa dress if I thought about it. If I knew it ahead of time, I should have done it.
I know that would have been interesting.
Yeah.
Put them behind the scenes with that too, and added maybe a little video thing with that or something. Would have been interesting.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd be brave enough to try it like on dumbbells or something. I mean, like I saw somebody doing it on a mailbox.
What the heck? No.
Up on a mailbox with high heels doing the balance thing. I'm like, wow, that's brave. So
no.
Wheelchair push-ups. Oh my God. No. Can you?
No, that's your department.
Yeah, can you? Man, I'll tell you what, Winona, here's what I do.
That's your challenge.
When I don't feel like going to the gym, I watch wheelchair workouts. And these motherfuckers can go. I watch them do the pull-ups with the wheelchairs. I watch them do all this the crazy stuff. And I'm like, my God, people who have fully able bodies don't go to the gym. You got people in a wheelchair kicking ass in there. There's no excuse for me not to go. I need to go right now. So, so I watch the wheelchair workouts a lot. That's
awesome.
Yeah. You ever see the wheelchair push-ups where they're doing the handstand push-ups where they're upside down? They got the chair strap.
Oh, I've seen it. Yeah, they're amazing.
Oh,
you know what? The upper body strength is something. I've seen the wheelchair Olympics. I've been a part of that before, the Olympics. It is amazing. My friend's sister is a collegiate, and some of the stuff that I saw, and it's been a while since I went, but they're amazing human beings, and man, they kick ass. So yeah, you're right. There, see, look at that. April is built solid. Look at that.
Yeah, my nephew's a paraplegic. I would love to see him get into this stuff. I wish I could push him in. Like, come on, you pussy, let's do it.
We should.
He does love four-wheeling. He does love four-wheeling. Oh my gosh, yeah. If they're not stupid, I'm not doing it like the ice bucket challenge stuff. But if there's anything like physical, you've done 300. You've gotten up to 300.
Awesome!
Oh my God!
Freaking awesome!
Wow!
Oh yeah, that's right. You did.
That's right.
You did Dance and Screams, Michael. You did it with him.
That's right. Yes, we did do the dance. Yes,
Tampa Bay Screams is
solid.
coming up again. April's got some.
I was joking around. If somebody walks by and smacks my ass, I'm like, "You hurt your hand? Do you need me to get somebody for you?"
Ice pack. Yeah.
Right. Well,
all right. So on
you
that
should be
note,
okay in a couple days. Put it on ice.
Follow April. Comment on things. Comment on other people's things. Don't be rude and just do an emoji. Stop in and say hi to your friends. Stop in and say hi to your family on social media. Make a comment. Say something. Share posts.
A mini dating game.
I know. I saw that. Great comments. I've been making notes. So we will do something.
I don't know. Could they do something like that? Could we do like maybe a
I
mini
don't know about that, but we can try
a
and figure something out.
freighting game, friends dating.
I don't know. I don't know
I
what
don't
to
know.
say on
I
that.
don't know. We got a few weeks.
Oh, what to say?
Yeah, we got a month. We got a little over a month. Let's play
Yeah,
with
we
it.
got time
Play
to
with
figure
it.
this out. In the
Play with it.
meantime,
Play with it.
we
We'll
got
throw
next
it into
week.
Chat GPT, see what we can come up with. Run it by some
All
people.
right.
Thank you for the
Okay.
ideas.
Yes. Yes.
In the meantime,
definitely.
next week we got
Maria.
Maria. Yep, hottie
And
extraordinaire. Writes some great books. So if you want
and you
to,
guys were very helpful. Boy, I got some great research ideas on everybody tonight. I was making all kinds of notes for all that. So anyway, yes.
Well, thank you for being here. You guys can join me on patreon.com, April Hunter. I'm on Instagram, Real April Hunter, X April Hunter. So you can find me anywhere. OnlyFans April Hunter, but I'm like, oh. And yeah. And Eva is Eva D Spirit 1 everywhere. So
Everywhere.
thank you. Let's cheer on these guys.
Yep. Yep.
Cheer on our guys.
Hey, my Flyers are still in the game. They're still in the game.
We live in Florida, bitch.
Whatever.
When you move to Florida, you have to. It's like moving to America from another country. You have to cut the ties. Okay,
I'm not cutting the ties.
Everybody moves from another country to Florida. You have to give it up. Okay, you have to leave it behind.
I'm not giving up shit.
And root on the Florida teams. It is the rule.
I do root on the Florida teams, though. There are actually the Lightning is a kick-ass team. I have to agree with that.
All right.
So
You
I
can't put the German flag out anymore. You put the American flag out. You give the country up. You want to live here, you live here. That means you now root for the Lightning. Not Italian anymore. Not Mexican anymore.
What?
American.
No, I'm always going to be
American.
American.
Sorry.
Anyway,
right,
happy birthday, Allie.
Have a good night, you guys. Happy birthday, Allie. Mwah. Go get into trouble and don't get caught, all right?
Right.
Love you guys.